Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included on this tilted asteroid, and I have a problem to solve, start off with, today. So this system is backed up. It's trying to put liquid down here, and I don't think I put a pipe connector in there. But what's happened, I think, I'm pretty certain, is I'm filtering for brine and salt water and pushing that into here. But I'm assuming these guys were backed up at some point, which was pushing brine in this direction. So I'll need to have a think about this and then make a little bit of change to make sure this does not happen in the future. Oh, that did get us sent over there. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so I made a fix to this system here. Essentially, I've got these two liquid reservoirs. That's allowing that liquid to fill up. In this case, brine, salt water. In this case, polluted water. And if either of these, or both of these machines need to be attended to by the dupe, at least there's a little bit of time for liquid to queue up in these containers before things get out of whack. Now, furthermore, I even put in automation, so once these guys get full, I got an AND gate here, it's going to essentially shut off the flow. So if it takes a little bit longer than usual for these things to get unplugged by a dupe, it shouldn't. But if it ever does, at least I have automation keeping this running. Because this is a very important system. I don't ever want to see water not coming out of my water system. So I'm definitely going to be happy about that. Now, I'm also putting another, so I'm changing the way the excess liquid. I'm really never expecting to see something come out of here. But if it ever does in the future, I'm going to put a hydro sensor there and say, look for anything, let's just say above 1, then it'll send a note here that says, we'll call this water problems. And hopefully that's not going to be the case, but I'll pause and zoom to it if it ever does. So this is looking a little bit better than it was earlier. So the second thing I've done today is added in automation around the Cuddle Pip stables. So I have these set up to pick up eggs. I need 3 of them just because the room's so long, but they're just getting eggs out of the stable, so that these guys remain in the state to be able to produce eggs quickly. Those eggs are being dropped off here then, and if this room doesn't have enough pips, I'm aiming for at least to have 10 in here. It's taking eggs out just to make sure that I maintain a continual supply of pips. Any excess pips will be turned to meat. That's what this guy is for, sending it to the deep freezer. And this is the one that's essentially going to take eggs to make sure that some new pips stay alive. And then I've got a critter sweeper in here that's essentially telling this door to be open and closed, whether or not I need to bring in more pips. So that's automating that whole process, and I don't even have to, well, once these trees grow, I won't even have to supply polluted water to the system. The only thing that will be needed, and not for myself, but from the dupe's rancher or someone else, we'll have to tend to the pips so we increase their population. And that's going to allow me to have pips be able to plant wild farms up in this zone. In the last episode, I made a Radbolt Engine. Now I've actually been able to fill it up, so it's ready to go. But we don't have the actual rocket itself ready, but we're going to start that process now. Going to begin make gold tiles whenever possible, but putting some petroleum right here just so that I can have a spot to store food. Have the bottle emptied temporarily. Oh, I guess I'll have to get rid of the lavatory for the time being to do that, but I'm just going to put a spot here for petroleum to go in. So the bottom area, this new Radbolt rocket is nearly complete. I got an area to store food, spot to remove carbon dioxide. And I've got pipes to store initial oxygen when the dupes take off, and then pipes for water storage as well. Continuing to dig out this wild farm that I'm going to be putting in. Just taking a little bit of care not to get slime lung in the area over here. Adding in a little bit of insulation, because ultimately I'm going to have to cool this spot down. Actually, it's pretty warm. But I figured I might as well insulate it because I don't need to cool the surrounding area. I just need to cool the farm itself. So I've got outside lines, and these are insulated because a lot of heat's going to go off when these rockets go in. But they're going to be loading water on this line. And actually I already have oxygen going in on this line. So I see this little piece of petroleum was replaced with water. I suspect what happened there is that was a little bit of melting ice or snow from up here that melted down. That's fine because it's just maintained. Well, it's actually got a vacuum on both sides, so it's actually not doing much of anything. Actually, it doesn't even have to be there anymore. But I'm particularly happy I made this area 2 levels instead of just 1 level. That way, if I do have liquid in here, which I have at the moment, it's not interacting with this upper area. And let's just look at the overall view of this. We don't have any leak on this side of things in terms of a temperature. It's pretty warm up here. What do I have for settings? Both aqua tuners are running. We'll see how this goes long term, but it seems to be maintained for the time being. So I put one of these Atmosuit docking stations, and I thought that would be really convenient. If the dupes take off on a rocket, I don't actually have to take off their Atmosuits when they go in here. And I was a little bit worried if this situation happens, where all the dupes essentially get stuck inside this zone. I just replaced having to take on and off people's Atmosuits with having to resupply this anytime they get stuck. I'm not sure this is better. I'm actually pretty sure this is much worse. I'm probably gonna not be doing this unless there's some way I can think to make this work. This is another problem I haven't been able to figure out. Dupes deciding they want to sleep in a rocket. I think it would make a lot more sense if instead of sleeping there, they would sleep in an actual private bedroom. So I can fix this easily enough. All I have to do is go in here and re-sign them, but it's just kind of annoying to have to do that every so often. Well, I was going to send these rockets up, and I realized that slime is actually accumulating up here and not falling down. I wasn't expecting that. I thought as soon as I opened the bunker door, all that material would fall down. I do have ladders here, so the dupes should be able to dig that out, but that was a little bit of a surprise. Alright, fortunately I've got a rover here that's cleaning this out, so I can actually take off now. And send more rovers on this world to help with construction. So just having radiant pipe go all the way around. Essentially that's going to be ethanol line that's going to cool this whole area down so that sleet wheat can grow over here. And I've got various spots that I don't essentially want to plant plants in rows or blocks of 3 off, 3 on type of thing. And wherever I don't have material I can plant anything, we're going to put some water in here and we're going to freeze that and turn it to ice. So that's why you have these drain pipes that'll be for water later on. So I decided to be a lot smarter to build an orbital data collection in here instead of the Atmosuit, which was trapping dupes. That way when dupe is exploring space and they've got any free time in the rockets, they can make databanks for us. So this is a very exciting moment. I've got this rocket now ready to go. It is a very decorative rocket, so the dupe that's going to be flying around here should be enjoying themselves. They got something to do in the spare time. They can make some data banks. I brought in some food, some pepper bread, so they should enjoy that. 30,000 calories, so that should give them 30 cycles worth of travel. They've got a place to eat. over here in a little mess hall that can generate power, but I also have ability to get solar power into the rocket from over here. They've got a place to sleep, place to use the washroom. Algae to be able to produce oxygen, that's pretty important. Plastic to actually run this machine, and let's just double check. We have water, and that's drainage going out, and we have initial supply of oxygen. Whew, okay, so that is the inside of this rocket. The outside of this rocket has a cartographic module, because we don't know much about space. This is the first time we're going out and explore this world. Also have a rover module, because if I do find, actually this needs to be action first, and up that priority here. But if I do find a planetoid, it'd be nice, if we're passing by anyways, is just to throw down a rover. So I think I will accrue this. Let's find a direction. Let's just go towards this unknown object here. And I'll just wait for this to be built, that rover, and I'm going to be taking off. So I was waiting around for the dupes to fill this, and I realized that's actually unreachable. So I'm going to have to build a ladder right there for them to be able to do that. And let's go inside this rocket. I don't see any dupe here. I've got warning, landing is not ready, or lander's not ready, that's fine. We'll wait on that. Oh, that's possibly why the dupes aren't coming in here, because we don't have a lot of suits. Alright. Actually, or did I assign? Hold on, this might just be simply the fact that I did not assign someone. I did not. That was cleaner. That was going to go on the mission. That explains why no one went in. So in my huge farm area, just starting the process of dropping liquid in so that I can eventually freeze this to plant some sleet wheat. So I had to build a ladder over on this side because it's still unreachable. But even with this ladder here, I still can't get dupes to supply this with material. Unless one of these two ladders is specifically needed. Maybe the dupes actually have to stand right here in order to be able to access it. No. Why am I, this is a mystery, why am I getting unreachable build? I've got a ladder here, I've got a ladder here, dupe could stand right here or here. I could put a ladder there. That's kind of a weird spot. Alright, let me do that. Actually, hold on, maybe it makes even more sense. Putting it right here. Okay, the moment I've been waiting for. Will providing this ladder give the dupes access. There we go. Now the dupes, someone can go in here and actually build rover module. I'll now call the crew back and get this rocket to take off. Hopefully this ladder's not going to get in the way of taking off. It's not on affecting the checklist, so I think we're going to be good. Alright, I'm ready now. Let me just double check the checklist here. Lander's ready. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's available, but no one has done it yet. Hold on. Don't do anything yet, Jer. Wait. Okay, so this rover is actually making a rover. Very convenient thing. Just have to wait for that. Sending some more rovers down. I'm extensively using rovers to build my base here. Speaking of which, it's time to deploy a rover. I wish it would remember the location or on top instead of taking me back to the center all the time. Anyway, minor detail there. We are now ready to go. Oh, hold on, actually. That's right, I forgot to take your suit off. I don't have an Atmos suit station here anymore. So you've got food. See, some of the dupes have stole your food while they're here, but I think 17,000 calories is going to be fine. Ready. Everything is checked off. Here we are, our first Radbolt Engine. Oh, okay, I'm a little bit nervous. We gotta watch the heat profile down here. My understanding is it goes like 6 tiles underneath. And I put it exactly there just so I would have room for dupes to be able to run across bunker tiles, but this leaves very little comfort. Of course, there's Bissolites. That actually might help. Okay. Well, the first rocket going off seems like it has gone well. And they're going to be over here in 1.8 cycles. And I just thought to myself, I guess this rocket's not going to benefit from this, but I've not built a mission control station. I need to do that. So I've discovered the first planetoid, Smelibo. As I mentioned earlier, I had a rover put on, and I was patient so I can actually have a rover land. And they can have a look around while this dupe continues on. They still have 16 tiles, so they can definitely go and visit at least one more thing. Let's find out what is in that location. And Smelibo, here we are. I can dig through certain things, so I can actually peer in here and have a look. Certain things I can't do, so I'm going to have to be very careful or selective about how I'm going to go around this world, but maybe I'll just start by digging out some building material to get started on this new world. I've been pretty lucky with glass so far. I haven't needed a whole lot for my construction, but I found some, or I was able to get some from gifts from the printing pod and various other tiles I was able to destroy from previous worlds. But I'm not going to have enough unless I have a glass forge going forward. So here it is, my glass forge. That's turning sand, and even have this auto sweeper that's going to take sand and put it into this machine for me. But, oh, I guess they didn't finish their actual work effort. But that's going to be sending very hot glass down here. And I've got lots and tons of cold liquid to cool it off. So cooling should not be a problem for that. So the Stoop found a field over here. And they're going to go check what's over here. But I have another dupe that's flown over here for the purpose of deploying a rover, because carbon dioxide is getting low. So figure if I can find a spot to send down a rover. Now, let me just make sure that actually is able to make it. And the rover is able to get out. Okay, good. So I'm going to immediately send that dupe back home. Go into the home world, and what I want the rover to do is I just gotta send this. Oh no, this is not the base the rover's at. This is the base the rover's at. Actually, let's just take a moment and just to verify our 2 geysers are still protected. They are, thanks to the bunker tiles. Excellent. That's providing lots of liquid over here. But what we want to do now is get access to some of this solid carbon dioxide. And I just need to tell this rover I'm interested in having that dropped off right here. That's liquefiable, I believe. I can just get this selected carbon dioxide, so that rover will start the process of sending more carbon dioxide back to my homeworld, so I can continue to send rockets up to have rovers help out with base. Starting to design the inside of my second Radbolt rocket, so I can send this up while the dupes work on their wild farm. So let's check on our 2 cuddle pips. They've been in here, they've got lots of food, so they're not hungry. That's good news. Got growing branches on 3 wild trees that are over here, and we have a number of pip eggs. cuddle pip eggs and just pip eggs. So that's going to be an important process for my wild farm. So another field was discovered. I think we've got enough distance. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can find out what this guy is here before that dupe goes back home. So with the dupes starting to explore different worlds, and with the fact that they're actually able to produce databanks, I don't think there's a need. Why do I have polluted water on top of my rocket? Well, whatever. I don't think there's a need to have this rocket. This rocket was pretty much specific to producing just databanks, and I just don't need that anymore. I'd rather have 3 rockets to be able to fire up to send rovers down at a time instead of just 2. Oh no. I guess I will try to reload. Well, hopefully I'm not going to have any more black holes. We'll see with reloading here. I think it was the destruction of this guy. Maybe, I think I remember this happening before. Perhaps it's the fact that I have to destroy the nosocone before the actual safe air module. Let's make sure I do that in that order. Other than that, though, I think that's going to do for today. I actually have a dupe traveling out in space. We've identified our first other planetoid other than the first 2. Oh, I have to resend them on this mission because we lost that. What else? We had nothing too exciting on this particular asteroid. Oh, I have to redo this as well, but get them to build some ladders within the base just to get started. So yeah, this rover's not going to be terribly useful here, to be honest, but they can do a few things before a dupe actually gets to that asteroid. In the homeworld, we are undertaking a mammoth project. There's going to be actually 4 layers of this sleet wheat growing over here, so I can... Oh, someone is sleeping on the ground. I don't think that's because they're stuck, though. They're for some reason deciding to sleep there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, if I can make this happen, if it works out, what it means is I no longer need to have input to sleet wheat. Now, if I do the same thing for pinch of pepper plants, then I've essentially got free food. But I'm planning to have 20 dupes because that's one of the achievements. So there's lots to be done on this particular thing. I might want to figure out some way to possibly speed this whole process up, because it is taking a very long time, but it's going to be worth it because there's 2 main things I'm always concerned about in this game: food and oxygen. Well, when it comes to oxygen, I mean, we've got ridiculous amounts of liquid, and food, I'm not very concerned about it, but it would be really nice to have sort of a free source of food so I can concentrate on all kinds of other things to do in this game. I think that is pretty much it. I guess other than that, oh, that's right, we had a glass production facility, glass forge now on the base. That's going to allow us to produce our own glass instead of scouring for bits and pieces that have been scattered across this world. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'm not going to have another... Oh, I was just worried. I thought it was going to freeze on me there. But yeah, let's try to destroy this. Maybe I'm going to end on this tonight and see if I can get this destroyed without a black hole. Thanks everyone for watching, liking, subscribing, and I will see you in a future episode. Come on, come on. Whew, okay, there we are. No black hole. See you next time.